Today I'll be reviewing Thai Airways' A350 Royal Silk, or business class. I was really excited to try this product, not just because of the legendary Thai service, but this was also my very first A350 flight. I flew from Bangkok to Milan, not my ultimate destination, just so I could take this flight. Did it live up to my lofty expectations? Let's find out. The experience in Bangkok very much starts on the ground, so if you'd like to skip straight to the flight, click on the timestamp in the description down below. The first thing to do is to put your name down at the Royal Orchid Spa. It's in the D concourse, and once you clear security, there's no moving walkway upstairs, so it's a bit of a hike from my E-gate. Slots fill up quickly, and the soonest I was able to get was an hour and 15 minutes in the future. Given it's a 30-minute massage, I ended up with the last time slot that could make my flight. With some time to kill, I retraced my steps to begin my own lounge pilgrimage. There are simply so many to choose from between my business class ticket and priority pass. I began at the a.k.a. Lounge, which, with its sleek design and changing neon colors, reminds me of a nightclub. Even the restrooms had a sleek look. There are a couple of small seating areas with a futuristic, though not particularly comfortable decor. The Wi-Fi was quite fast. There's a self-serve bar, but only Heineken is on draft. Honestly, I'd have preferred a Thai or Taiwanese brew. Food is a mixture of Western and Asian options. But, of course, I made a beeline straight to the dim sum. There's also a business center and massage chairs, but I didn't linger, as I had more lounges to explore. I've heard great things about the Oman Air Lounge, which is accessible with Priority Pass, but sadly it was closed at this hour. Speaking of Priority Pass, there are 3 Miracle Lounges you can access. Both the business and first are accessible, and I've read that the food is decent, but again, I simply didn't have the time. There was also a Turkish Airways lounge under construction, because clearly there aren't enough lounges yet. I next went to the Singapore KrissFlyer Lounge. There's much more seating than in the a.k.a. Lounge. I really liked the varied seating options, and in particular the work pods. It's comfortable enough to stretch out in, but there's a reading light, power, and table for working. The food also was a mix of Asian and European fare, with distinct Singapore flair. Having never been to Singapore, I found the various squishy sweets the most interesting. I would have liked to spend more time there, but the lounge closed at 11:30 p.m. and I had a spa appointment. Royal Silk passengers get a 30-minute massage for either their feet or head and shoulders. First class passengers get a full hour full body massage. Having been forced to lug my backpack around as I had to check my suitcase, I went with the head and shoulders, which was excellent. Afterwards, I was given some lemongrass tea. Following the massage, I headed back to the econ course, and thought I'd stop by the Thai Royal Silk Lounge there. It was fairly crowded and underwhelming, honestly, and I didn't linger. It just doesn't compete with EVA, Singapore, and soon-to-be Turkish. Soon it was time to board, and I headed to the gate. Conveniently for many of the passengers, there was a smoking area next to the gate, and folks got their last nicotine hit for the next 12 hours. The A350 was parked at a remote stand, so we arrived by bus. Although the lighting was terrible, I really must say the A350 is a beautiful aircraft. Also, look at the size of those Trent engines! I was so excited to board, I went to the wrong side of the plane by mistake. Back on the left side, I settled in. The 32 seats are arranged in a 1-2-1 configuration, with the window seats alternating between more private seats near the window and more exposed seats by the aisle. The cabin is spacious and bright, and the interior of the new aircraft immaculate. The seats are modernized versions of those on the 777-300ER I had just flown on. Besides a welcome orchid, the remote is now a beautiful touchscreen, and overall the seat has a much sleeker look. The headphone jack and power port is conveniently located by your leg, though a heavier power brick won't stay in. Lack of storage is an even worse issue with this incarnation of the seat, as there isn't even a cup holder. There's only a tiny storage bin by your arm. The tray folds up in front of you, and has enough swivel to allow you to get up during a meal service. There's also dual USB power near the TV. The seat is incredibly adjustable, and controls are easily within reach in any position. I was presented with a scented hot towel and offered a Violet Bliss drink. Champagne was also available upon request. Speaking of which, Thai serves Veuve Clicquot, which retails for about $50 a bottle on the ground, and is one of my favorite champagnes. I'm not the only one. From the very first,
สวัสดีค่ะ
from a flight attendant, I knew this crew would be great. Thai clearly selects their best crews for long-haul flights, and it showed. Each of the business class flight attendants went out of their way and introduced themselves personally to each passenger. Their English was excellent, and I happily chatted with several of them about the airline and the aircraft during the flight. To be frank, I'd been underwhelmed by Thai hospitality during my time there, but this crew, as I left Thailand, were some of the friendliest folks I'd ever met. The amenity kit was from Mandarina Duck. I didn't make up the name, I swear, and came with only a few items. The comb was comically large, but I'm a guy with short hair. Eye shades and earplugs were not included, though available upon request. The provided headphones were AKG and, quotes, provided world-class noise cancelling, end quote. Though I'd say that's an incredible overstatement. The noise cancellation was pitiful, the ear pads incredibly difficult to attach, and I only used them when forced to by the TV. There's a reason my Bose Q35s never leave my travel bag. Once boarding was completed and the cabin doors closed, the crew made an announcement about spraying the cabin with a disinfectant per Italian health regulations. And that the World Health Organization swore it wouldn't kill us. While I believe it was an insecticide, it's what I would normally do with a bottle of Febreze. The engines fired up, and after a brief taxi, we were airborne. Flying time was 12 hours and 15 minutes at 39,000 feet. I went with a glass of Veuve Clicquot and looked over the menu. There's 2 options each for Thai and international. The starter plate was unique, and the smoked salmon paired well with the Thai flavors and green mango. The cucumber roll was just alright, and the olive oil pearls odd. Of course, the garlic bread made everything better. I went with the Jean Juan curry, which was good but could have been a bit spicier. It was paired with a spicy and sour beef soup and a cold pork dish. It was all very tasty, but I was so full at this point from my multiple dinners I couldn't finish it. I even passed on dessert, though both the pudding and cheesecake looked great. Prior to bed, we were each given a glass of water and a Ferrero Rocher, which I wish I had on my nightstand every night. I made the bed in the dark, which made filming difficult. The mattress pad was just thick enough to be effective, and the pillow and blanket were comfortable. While I was a little tight around the shoulders, there was plenty of legroom and headroom at my 5'7". Like the 787, the A350 has a pressurization equivalent level of 6,000 feet, which is 2,000 feet lower than most aircraft. I must say that my 2 best nights of sleep on a plane was this one, as well as on Air New Zealand's Dreamliner. I do think there's something to it, and it's unfortunate that most of the flights out of Chicago are 777s and 767s. I slept for a solid 8 hours, and awoke over the Black Sea. The entertainment system is on a new, bright screen that is very responsive. The selection of movies was quite extensive. But I settled on The Legend of King Nasseron Part 1. No way in hell I'd finish the story, as there's 6 movies, but where else would I watch it? Being able to watch the map on the remote while watching a movie was pretty great. The aircraft was Wi-Fi enabled, and business class passengers were given a code for 20 megabytes free. However, I ran out of data while running the speed test, so I can't really speak about its speed. Breakfast service began with another warm towel. There were 4 choices of meals, and I went with the poached Eggs Benedict. They were served with muesli, fruit, and various pastries. The eggs were slightly overdone, though poached eggs in airline food itself is a minor miracle. The bread was also a bit firm, which made cutting it difficult. The fruit and muesli were good, though the other pastries merely alright. I finished with some chamomile tea and a mint. We touched down in Milan just as the sun rose. While there is an HD camera on the aircraft, it doesn't do well in low light either. As we landed, people's personal belongings and water bottles went flying everywhere. The lack of storage really is a problem. As much as I wanted to record more footage for this video with the lights on, I needed to run through Italian customs, immigration, and baggage claim in order to make my next flight out of a different terminal on a different airline. Landing with this many non-EU citizens made my line very long at immigration and customs, and I knew Italian efficiency is, well, Italian efficiency. So, Thai Royal Silk Business Class on the A350. I really enjoyed it and highly recommend it. While the food was really good, it wasn't quite on par with the Japanese carriers, but it blows European and American carriers out of the water. The crew were absolutely phenomenal. While the seats were comfortable and modern, I wish they installed reverse herringbone seats on the A350s like they did on the 787s. There's just wasted space if you don't angle the seat. I also feel as though the A350 lived up to its reputation, given how well I slept and how well rested I felt. I had the option of flying this or the 747 or A380 to Germany, and I think I made the right decision. I just needed to connect the dots to Prague, so I took a cheap flight on EasyJet. It's a shame that Thai lost the ability to fly to the United States, and hopefully we'll be able to fly directly again soon. Plus, I was so full, I couldn't try the Pad Thai on board, which I hear is excellent. Thanks for watching. I know this was a long one. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a like. It really helps a small channel like this one. Be sure to subscribe as well for many more flight reviews to come, and I'll see you on the next one.